You may now begin your
We
presentation.
have ignited a passion for entrepreneurship in Zambia.
We have built an economy.
We have created a middle class.
There is no problem too big,
Too daunting?
Or too difficult to solve.
all the pieces are in place to ensure lasting scalability
And sustainability.
Leaving a legacy for future generations.
It is also time for a new journey
A new challenge.
New hopes.
and new dreams.
It is time to bring our project home.
So let us take you on our journey.
And share with you our extraordinary work.
And extraordinary results.
Project One Seed has evolved since 2012 to support over 125 villages in Zambia, Africa.
From the very first needs assessment we did 7 years ago through the ones we do every year, our process is the same.
We meet with farmers, school leaders, village elders, and tribal headmen.
We ask a lot of questions and we learn.
We never impose our ideas on them, nor tell them what to do.
We listen, and then we ask everyone, what hopes and dreams do you have for your family, your friends, your community?
We hear the same key themes over and over.
We can't feed ourselves.
Our health is poor.
We don't have clean drinking water.
We have no sources of power.
We need more education.
And we need better ways to make money.
So the question is, how can we, with the Zambians, fulfill all those needs?
The answer: start with achieving food security.
But do it in such a way that will fuel all the other goals and development they want.
Small-scale farmers do not have access to proper farming inputs, and farming knowledge is handed down from generation to generation.
Cornfields do not flourish like they should, but with proper training, crop yields can be dramatically improved.
Realizing this, we formed a partnership with Southwest Agrimart, a Canadian company specializing in innovative agricultural solutions, and we built an agricultural program together.
Our team teaches farmers that no-till farming is a way of growing crops without disturbing the soil through plowing.
It also keeps water and nutrients in the soil while decreasing erosion.
In the fields and in the classrooms, we teach proper seed planting depth, seed spacing, and row spacing.
All key principles of no-till farming that lead to a vast increase in crop production.
This agriculture program is the key to ensuring food security.
And providing disposable income that will build an economy.
So, where are we today after our first trial plot?
To make One Seed sustainable, we had to transfer our knowledge to the farmers.
And our focus has been on training Zambian trainers.
This year, our team trained 175 trainers.
That's 175 trainers working with their fellow Zambians, giving them the knowledge they need.
Our 175 trainers are the key to scaling our project when we are not there.
And that's sustainability.
We want to show you the economic impact on our farmers and how empowered farmers are changing their own lives.
We want to show you the success of transferring knowledge by training trainers.
And we want to show you what happens when you really scale a project.
One Seed expanded to 35,738 new farmers this year.
Adding 35,738 farmers to the middle class just this year.
Farmers who previously had yields of 27 50-kilogram bags are now harvesting an average of 138 bags per hectare.
Profit has gone from an average of just $300 per hectare to an average of $1,378.
That's a 4.6 times increase in yield and profit.
That's 35,738 farmers earning a profit of $1,378 per hectare.
That's new profits totaling more than $49 million just this year.
And that's how a project scales.
Another significant benefit of no-till farming is the impact it has on the environment.
We could have easily taught traditional farming methods, but we intentionally and strategically chose no-till farming as it is better for the environment.
With no-till farming, less fertilizers and chemicals are used. The soil is no longer plowed, and because of this, oxygen is kept out of the soil.
Without oxygen, the carbon in the soil can't be converted into carbon dioxide.
This means that carbon is left in the ground and CO2 out of the air.
By planting 35,738 hectares of corn using no-till farming, over 62,000 tons of carbon were kept in the ground,
and over 187,000 tons of carbon dioxide kept out of the air this year.
The equivalent of offsetting 102,000 vehicles emissions in just 1 year.
Our positive environmental impact does not stop there. We also taught farmers to stop burning corn stalks after harvest.
Stopping crop burning allows the stalks to decompose where they lie, and not only is the soil improved, but many harmful emissions are no longer released into the atmosphere.
This year alone, over 972,000 tons of stalks are no longer burned.
By eliminating stalk burning, these emissions have been stopped from entering our air.
1.5 million tons of carbon dioxide,
52,000 tons of carbon monoxide,
2,800 tons of non-methane volatile organic compounds,
1,000 tons of ammonia,
45.8 tons of nitrous oxide,
and 6.5 tons of methane.
These toxic emissions are extremely harmful to our atmosphere and also cause adverse health issues in humans.
We are very proud of the work that our farmers have done to help dramatically improve their environment.
We would also like to add that our numbers have been verified by a leading agronomist in Canada.
Our second major environmentally friendly project this year is the construction of a life-changing drip irrigation system at the school in Kayumba.
Students at the school finally have access to a diverse selection of food and the rarest resource in rural Zambia, water.
For the first time, electricity was available to us, but we wanted to keep the drip system off the electrical grid.
We installed solar panels to power the system because solar power is renewable
and far more environmentally friendly than traditional sources of energy generation.
With drip irrigation, the school is growing a wide variety of fruits and vegetables, providing the critical diversity needed in the students' diet.
These children will no longer have to decide if they should attend school where there was no food,
or stay at home and work in the fields where they had a chance to find something to eat.
This is truly a life-changing project that will now feed children all year long.
Our work has empowered change.
Change the communities wanted.
Change paid by the farmers who use our no-till farming method.
Change powered by entrepreneurship while helping the environment.
One seed at a time.
We are constantly reviewing and updating our needs assessment. And through discussions with the farmers, we realized we had to start focusing on business development.
With so much corn being produced, we thought of an idea to create many new businesses and to get money into farmers' hands faster.
And so we launched the Maize Roads, an integrated network of 45 new small businesses.
Our entrepreneurs have launched an entire new food service industry in their community.
I'm one of the owners of the Maize Road. The project allows me to add value to my maize. The students from One Seed project have shown me that I can make a lot of money by turning maize into food products.
With a group of aspiring entrepreneurs like Chi-Chi, we built a food production and wholesaling business spread over 3 villages.
First, 3 entrepreneurs in each village bought a hammer mill and a dehauler that can process corn.
This equipment allows these entrepreneurs to add value to corn by producing food for human consumption.
Second, we train 42 entrepreneurs how to start their own businesses. They have set up collection depots in their own communities to buy corn from local farmers, and they pay cash.
Paying cash is important, as the government typically buys all corn produced and is notoriously slow to pay.
Third, the 42 entrepreneurs then bring their raw material, the corn, to one of 3 production facilities.
Fourth, the corn is then processed using the hammer mill and dehauler to make samp, milling meal, and maize bran.
All food staples in a Zambian's diet.
These value-added food items are then sold back to the farmers for consumption.
On average, each small business is selling 612 50-kilogram bags at a profit of $6.75 per bag.
That's over $4,100 profit per entrepreneur.
in communities that typically survive on less than $1 per day.
To add context to what $4,131 means to a Zambian farmer, tuition at the school costs $650 per year for 6 kids.
A sturdy bicycle is $90.
And a 3-bedroom home can be built for $6,000.
$4,000 goes a long way in Zambia.
This incremental profit earned by our entrepreneurs comfortably moves them into the upper tier of Zambia's middle class.
While also adding 114 new jobs to their local economy.
So, there's a question you're probably asking yourselves.
Where did the money come from to build the maze roads?
We have been planning this project for 3 years.
But we decided we were not going to provide the capital for the equipment or for the initial inventory required for startup.
Our farmers on their own have been saving up for 3 years.
And this year, they have finally saved enough to launch their businesses.
We are so incredibly proud of our farmers.
We are proud of their success.
And they have paid for it on their own.
Something else is now happening in Zambia because of our project.
And it is incredible.
We are the teachers from Gandhi Primary School, Onze District, Southern Province of Zambia. Enactus has shown that success is possible and we can do it. So much development has occurred in our community because of one seed project. The Enactus students have changed our community and changed how we think. And now we believe anything is possible.
We have inspired these teachers to band together and launch businesses on their own without our direct help.
And here's the best part. They are sharing their experiences in the classroom with their students.
Inspiring a whole new generation of young entrepreneurs.
Building an economy also requires an investment in the future. Zambian children.
To ensure lasting scalability and sustainability of our project, we have built farming content that can be used to educate children in both elementary and high schools in the southern province of Zambia.
Introducing our farming program into the schools will have a lasting and profound effect on the students and their communities.
Our work and additional farming curriculum has been sent to Zambia and will be taught in 15 high schools and 142 elementary schools in the southern province.
Giving 75,007 students the ability to have food security
for life.
We built our project in Zambia on these key pillars.
Our work is based only from our needs assessment.
We saw opportunity and we acted.
We took action using the essentials of entrepreneurship to create food security.
Dramatically improved profits and built an economy.
We enabled progress by empowering farmers and entrepreneurs.
Improving the lives of over 192,000 people just this year.
We are so proud of our project in Zambia that it continues to scale and is now fully sustainable.
It is time to expand.
It is time for a new challenge.
It is time to bring our project home.
Canada has 634 First Nations, representing more than 1.3 million people.
We live in a community with 7 First Nations within a 1 hour's drive of our campus.
People living on reserves surrounding our community and throughout Canada face many of the same challenges as our friends in Zambia.
3 years ago, we started laying the foundation in our First Nations to replicate our success in Zambia.
We learned that the challenges are very similar.
First Nations need the knowledge and skills to grow their own economies and to stop economic leakage.
Financial literacy is badly needed.
And fly-in reserves need to find ways to feed themselves.
And so, we have begun to tackle these challenges one by one.
We partnered with Kettle and Stony Point Reserves to start a pilot project to increase entrepreneurial capacity, establishing a satellite office of the Cube, our on-campus entrepreneurial hub.
And we conducted sessions of our financial literacy program, Managing Your Junya, which means money in Ojibwe.
This year, at Amjinan First Nation, we adapted our work and developed a series of workshops to teach entrepreneurs how to launch their own businesses.
We held 2 workshops over 8 weeks.
15 entrepreneurs took our workshops, and 5 have launched new businesses.
We have been testing,
learning,
changing,
and adapting our work over the past 3 years at Amjinan, Kettle, and Stony Point First Nations.
The foundation is laid, and we are ready to launch our project in more First Nations across Canada.
It's a big challenge.
And we want to get this right.
So we will continue to refine our work.
And like Zambia, we have built a project we can take coast to coast using the same pillars of success.
We've grown a lot in Zambia over these past 7 years.
Building,
Adapting,
Innovating.
our project is scalable.
sustainable.
It's built to last.
This is what a project looks like with entrepreneurship as its foundation.
Empowering farmers to achieve their goals.
Improving lives economically.
Socially,
And environmentally.
We continue to look for ways to enable even more progress.
you have seen our results.
They are remarkable.
But this is where we should be.
After laying a strong foundation,
And continuing to grow our project,
This is where we should be.
we are feeding people,
teaching people.
Sharing our knowledge.
developing and growing an economy.
Over 35,000 farmers joined our project this year.
Earning $49 million in new profits just this year.
Profits being used to build an economy.
Providing financial and food security to over 285,000 people.
Over 970,000 tons of waste is no longer burned.
Keeping 1.5 million tons of CO2 out of the air.
And over 62,000 tons of carbon in the ground.
45 entrepreneurs.
Started 45 new businesses, launching the Maze Roads.
Dramatically improving their income.
And creating 114 new jobs.
75,000 students are being taught our curriculum.
Gaining the knowledge.
And ability to end generational hunger.
We are bringing our project home to Canada.
Building capacity in First Nations.
To fulfill their hopes.
Their dreams.
We are Enactus Lambton.
Empowering communities at home
And around the world.
We will now begin the question and answer period.
Great presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Could you give us a little bit more detail about the training programs, how you train the trainers and how you train the entrepreneurs? What are you actually doing with them?
And is that for the agricultural piece or for the maze roads, just to clarify?
Both.
Okay, so for the agricultural piece, it's okay. Up until last year, we were the only people training trainers. So we would make 4 trips to Zambia a year, and we would physically train the trainers. We would set up the workshops, teach them seed spacing, row spacing, seed depth. We'd get out our tools, our Magoya Ripper, and give a slight slice in the soil and plant our seeds. They're not trenches, they're just slight slices. We would go into the classrooms and teach them the benefits of no-till farming. They often questioned us because our method is very different than what they used to do. We wait for 55 millimeters of rain before we plant, and the farmers were used to just planting as soon as they got 1 millimeter of rain. So we had to educate them on the benefits. This year, we trained our program drastically because we usually make 4 trips a year, but this year we were only able to go once, so we could only go 1 time. In that trip, we started training our trainers how to train trainers. So not only are they training farmers now, but they're training trainers. And you saw with our numbers, last year we trained 339 trainers with about the same results. This year we only trained 175 trainers, and we got more results than last year. So the exponential growth is incredible by decreasing the number of trainers. And then for the Maze Roads piece, the training that we do is how to add value to their product. When we told them that they should keep some of their maize back, they were very concerned because the government is typically the market for the maize. They always sold it into the government. But the government sets the price. And when we're growing more maize, there's a ceiling. It's going to be bad for the farmers. So we said, hold some of that back. We're going to teach you how to add value. And then when you produce an end result for customer use, you're going to get so much more profit. And we taught them by doing this, you can get cash faster. The government typically buys the corn, but they don't pay until months and months later. Money is a problem in Zambia, so they need cash fast.
Thank you guys, great job. I have two questions. One is, how big can this get in Zambia? And the second is, how does the individual entrepreneur scale their business and make it a lot bigger? Do they have access to land? Do they have access to capital? How much is needed, et cetera?
Okay, so to scale this project, this year we have pretty much decided that we are going to hand over the agricultural piece to the Zambians. That was our mission number one. We wanted to grow a project that they could take ownership of. We are in the southern province. Our trainers are in talks with the other provinces to bring it to Zambia. So in the next year to year and a half, I could see this project going into all of the other 9 provinces. Your question about each entrepreneur. Because sometimes there can be droughts in Zambia, we are teaching our farmers to diversify their farms in 2 ways. 1, with different crops, so we're telling them to grow different crops as well, but 2, to invest in livestock. When you have livestock, there's no ceiling price. You can sell it into the market for whatever you'd like, and you gain so many more profits.
Great presentation, fantastic job. Can you give a little more color around the entrepreneur, the actual businesses that the entrepreneurs launched in the First Nations program?
Yes, so we had 5 businesses launched this year. We had some entrepreneurs launch a fitness center, we had entrepreneurs launch art businesses, and we also had entrepreneurs launch a business that is going to bring tourism back to their reserve. It's called Tiny Homes. They're building tiny homes and putting it on the beach on Kettle and Stony Point, so they're going to be able to have people come and stay.
Question over here, thanks. I just wanted to go back to the agricultural component in Africa and Zambia. It sounds like some of what you're doing might be contrary to government practices. I'm interested if you've had any interaction with local government and how they view your efforts.
So we have to partner with the FRA, which is the Food Reserve Agency, to weigh our corn. So we are in...
Your time has expired. Judges and guests, please help me in thanking the team from Lambton College.